Hello and welcome back to the ACC's Netball podcast, Court Session. My name is Sam Winders. I have with me Erena Mikaere. This is brought to you from the Export Beer Garden studio. And Erena, are we pumped to be back?
Oh, it's so good to be back. I'm excited. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I missed you, Sammy, and I feel like the people may have missed our voices, but I'm so excited. Are you happy to be here?
I was just about to say the exact same thing, E. I feel like this is a great platform for us to catch up. I couldn't think of any better communication device than a podcast for us to share our innermost thoughts and feelings with each other. And yeah, it just happens to be netball one, which we both do a bit of, so that helps too.
It does help. So, because the world hasn't heard from us in a long time, Sammy, how have you been? What's been going on? Like, catch me up. Quick, short, sharp. What's been on the court session for Sammy?
Oh, yeah. To be honest, it was the end of a lot of club netball going around the country, so court session was a relevant theme of a lot of clubs, which I feel like we might have that in common. Am I correct?
We do, because I don't know why, but I didn't want to finish netball and went and played a whole lot of club. You're right. And there were so much court sessions. I found myself being the judge a few times, which, you know me. I love the power.
That's so responsible of you.
I know. I'd love being in that position. I was like, hand on the wall. Say this after me. I had this whole new technique, but it was great. So that's where we've been.
Yeah, I did some interesting court sessions too. There was quite a few like amateurs or people who've never done one before, and we really struggled with the noise. Like really struggled with the talking back. And just like stay in your lane, people. Let's make this thing as smooth as possible. Do not talk back to me. So we had to invent a few punishments.
We had that too. I think there needs to be a new, I think that's our job nowadays, once you're processing through, you got to go in and teach those newbies the court sessions. But I don't know, I think I need to hear from some males in their rugby court sessions, because I feel like they're a lot more organised than the chatty catty that we have. And you just try and put penalties on it. It keeps going.
Yeah, it does. And the worst thing about it is if it feels personal, like that's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's a female thing or not. But yeah.
So for those people who don't know what a court session is, maybe you're tuning in and
then they're just going to have to keep guessing. They're just going to have to keep guessing
All right.
until they turn up to a sports team.
Okay, and we'll leave it at that then. Wow. So what's been going? Why are we back, Sammy?
Yeah, we are back in your ear holes talking about netball because it just kind of came out of nowhere for me. The Silver Ferns are back playing a test series, the Cadbury series. Oh, Tiny Jamison Trophy, but it's called the Cadbury series. A bit confusing, but they're playing 3 tests against England. They love to do Tiny Jamison against England, so they're back playing 3 test series against England in New Zealand to decide who'll walk away the Tiny Jamison Trophy.
Okay, so just quickly on that, I did not know that it was Cadbury. I knew it was a tiny trophy, and I think, and I guess there's a whole lot of things around it because she passed away this year. So I think So
it's the first Tiny Jamison Trophy where she
in her honor.
Yeah, in her memory.
Passed.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. That's so lovely. Tiny Jamison is a stalwart of Netball New Zealand. She's from Rotorua, which is where Erena and I are both from. So that's just so nice. Love it.
So, do we start with the kick in the guts that it's a tiny trophy? And I think because from Rotorua, the women want, a strong, that competition. But England, it's come out, and I think was it Jenny Woods? Was it? I don't know. Someone said England are bringing their England B team.
Yeah, there's been some chat around that. So that happened. It first came out a few weeks ago when Jenny Woods. Do you mean Jenny Wiley, the CEO of Netball New Zealand?
Was it? Sorry, my bad. Okay, can I tell a quick story on that?
Yeah.
Where were we? We were at netball. I don't know, preseason thing, and someone said, it was like a camp, and someone said, who has met Jenny Wiley in nearly, and I thought, and if you haven't, you need to go introduce yourself. And nearly everyone had their hand up, and I was like, what? Who is this person? And I'm no, I don't know if I thought she was like, by the way she was explained, I thought she was the owner of Google. So I was like, who is this person and why haven't I met them? Clever me, I have seen that person. So, fun story. Carry
Just
on
to
with
see
what you were saying.
New Zealand.
Yeah,
That's
just
all.
the person I have seen.
Yeah. So yeah, it was her. She threw arms a little bit, and it kind of came out in the media, obviously. And I just find it so funny because it's just bit of netball bants going back and forth. I'm not sure if there would be as much media coverage of this series coming up if there hadn't have been that. So hats off to the marketing people at Netball New Zealand who have obviously put in a word to the girls and say, stir the pot, ladies. We need some media coverage. We need people to be watching us because let's be honest, there's a lot going on sporting wise right now. And
there is.
Yeah. And the Silver Ferns once again are probably maybe like 7th down the list on the news when you get to the sports channels kind of situation. So
they're probably not even in the click list, right?
Yeah. If any. Yeah. So I thought I grabbed a couple of quick takes from some of these interviews. So Phoenix Karaka, who has newly appointed vice captain for the series, she reckons, are they taking the piss about the England team? So that was her initial reaction to it. And then Liana Leota, who's actually a former Silver Fern, who is actually coaching this England team this year, clapped back and she reckons, well, they have underperformed, so they need to perform. And she's talking about the Ferns, of course. So the goss on the street is that the England girls are pumped to be like labelled such underdogs that there's no pressure on them, which is going to be really fascinating. And the Silver Ferns, I back them. I feel like they'll take the series 3-0, but they got a bit of pressure on them now.
Whoa, I didn't know that. And I feel like you're correct. There is a little bit of a pressure. I am in two spaces of mind with this. So one, in terms of if I had said that, I would almost be like, now we definitely have to smash them. We've put out there that they're the B and we're the A, essentially. It would be like you're at high school and you play in the A team, you've got to smash the B team. Otherwise, what is going on? Or your development team,
Yeah.
So I'd be in that space of mind like, well, now we have to do this. And at the same time, like, they might actually, they're the unknown, It's almost like, are they unorthodox? What are they doing? They don't even have their, original coach, because obviously Liana's coach, am I correct?
Yeah, so everyone that went to the World Cup, all 12 players plus the coach are having a break.
Yeah. Oh, you get out of here. Okay.
Yeah, they haven't brought anyone who went to the World Cup. So you can kind of say it's a B team. The funny thing is, though, that the New Zealand B team, which for some reason we call the New Zealand A team. So maybe we call England the A team because that's what we call our second team.
Well, they should, but yeah.
Yeah, like I don't get why Netball New Zealand called them the B team when our B team is called the A team. That's kind of confusing. NZA. So New Zealand A played England A, that's what we're calling them, on Thursday night, and
in like a training match.
Yeah, so they brought in all of these New Zealand A girls, and they just had a couple of trainings. Like a lot of them haven't played netball.
I'm like, Sammy, do you have inside goss? Is this behind closed doors they played this?
Yes, this is behind closed doors. And you and I have both been playing for the NZA previously. And we've beaten the Silver Ferns behind closed doors. And
just
no
makes
one
them
knows
better
about it. It's not released in the media. So
I don't know why. We released
I'm just telling you this confidentially. Like I said, this is our time to catch up. So between me and you, E, the New Zealand A,
no one else.
No one else. Played the England A team. And the England A beat them by 10 goals. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it could be all right.
Kudos to them. I see that.
Yeah.
And our NZA got some good players in there. They got some good players. Also, I do wonder sometimes, though, if they play changes that are preconceived changes. Is that the word? When you're like, this is the lineup, and then at halftime, this is the lineup. And no matter what the score is, we're changing it because that happens too. And I don't know why coaches do that, but that happens. So they won by 10, did you say? Did I just make that up?
Yes, you're
I'm on
correct.
10. That's
England,
hefty. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good score. That's a hefty score.
But word on the street is that this is a direct quote from one of the players in that team. The Ferns should smash them.
Oh, let's go. Okay, nice. I'm thinking that person would know because obviously NZA hit up against the Silver Ferns all the time, so they go in at it, so they would know the ins and outs. Oh, I'm excited for that. That just got me pumped because I wasn't too excited. Let's just say.
Yeah, other thing is, Leanne Leota said that this England team have been through the most rigorous training regime for the last 8 weeks. That she's the hardest training program that she's ever seen in an England squad. So.
Man, so
I don't know. Now I'm doing the opposite. I'm pumping up this England team, hoping for a really good performance from them. So
so we get good
we'll
games,
reflect on this on Monday, I guess.
We will. The other interesting thing is the males play alongside them, so that's a good thing to get into. I'm wanting to see some. Don't the men have team? Is this not for the series? Is it for the next?
Okay, no, that's the next one.
I knew that.
I know you want to watch the boys play netball.
Sorry. I'm skipping way too far.
You've got to wait one more month.
I know. Because, they're in the middle of their club netball at the moment. I think there's men's nationals at the moment. Yeah, sorry. I've been
shout out to the boys playing in their nationals.
Shout out to
That's
the
very
boys.
Cool. Finals. They've had finals. Yeah.
So we've got some other stuff to cover, but I'm like, do we leave that for because we're back. What day are we back, Sammy, for these games? Because I hadn't looked into it, but now that you've given me all the goss, and I knew that you'd let me know because we'd jump on a podcast and I'd go to watch it anyway because I've been messaging meals and I actually really wanted to pop up and go watch it. I think there's one in Hamilton and I'm actually getting more tattoos done that day. Surprise, surprise, tattoos. I can't go, but I would have loved to. So can you tell us about when we'll be back? You don't know either. Just kidding.
No, I got it. So fun fact about me, I haven't been on social media for like a month, maybe.
That's amazing.
When I say social media, I mean Instagram. So do you know, it's so hard to know what's going on in the world. I feel like I don't know anything. So I've actually had to be looking on news outlet sites.
Do they work?
Yeah. There's actually a lot of news out there that you don't know about.
That's pretty cool.
So I found out on a news outlet site, a channel, that they're playing at 4:00 on Sunday, which I don't know. It doesn't really cross over with other sports at that time. There's definitely a bit of Rugby World Cup catch-up matches you could be watching at that time instead, but, there's nothing really to coincide with it. I reckon we've got time to cover off because we've been talking about what sports.
Oh, we do? Yeah,
what sports are the options out there. So what I like to do when I'm considering whether I should watch this sport or the other sport, whatever sport I choose to watch, I try to pick out the player on that team who would go good in that other sport I chose not to watch. For example, if I have to choose between rugby and rugby league and I'm watching rugby league, I would think, what would Sean Johnson play in rugby? And I don't even know the answer to that because I don't even know how they relate to each other, rugby and rugby league. Are they the same, whatever?
Oh, I get it.
But you know what I mean? So if you're watching netball, what sport would the goalkeep play? And this is a good one for you, E, because you are the goalkeep. If you could imagine that goalkeep playing any sport in the world, what would she play?
Well, I'd play anything that I think, because they think they're good, right? So, no.
Yeah, they've got good confidence, the goalkeeps. Well, you do anyway.
Yeah. I was going to say the what do you call it? The obvious, which is basketball, because they want to do blocks and things. I might stick with that because they're aggressive. So it's like, so I'm going to go.
I like it. And do you often get asked, are you a basketball player?
I do. And then they see me try and bounce a ball and it's ridiculous. So
what?
They're like, and then you
dribble
see the
ball
shot go
not
up.
out of your mouth.
Yeah, and I can't even hit the rim with the shot ball. So, but blocks are good. So
yeah,
maybe basketball. So I get it now. So do we do one for the Goldie?
Yeah. I'm thinking Goldie is a rugby league player. Like they're most likely to take people out in a game.
Ooh.
Big
Yes.
hit ups, potentially like a no arms kind of hit. Yeah.
A no
I
arms
can
hit.
visualize. Yeah.
I think for the smaller goldies, I'm just thinking of others, maybe sevens. So you'd be like the rugby league sevens, but you're essentially Niall, right? You're Niall Williams. You go from playing sevens and go play rugby league.
Well, I was actually going to say wing D could be sevens because they're definitely a bit shorter.
Oh, that has always been my dream, Sammy. I don't know. I'm just letting the world know now. I would love to see you play a sevens game. I think you'd be amazing. And you are wing D. So
that would be interesting.
Correct. Wing,
Put it out there. We never know who's listening.
Goalkeep basketball, Gold D rugby league, wing D, we're going sevens.
Yeah, I reckon.
I feel like sevens could also, because it's the time at the moment, I mean, sevens, wing Ds, like you, could also be the Prime Minister.
Yeah. They run the show, don't they?
They do. But hey, there you go. What about the centre? Because fun fact,
some sort of endurance sport, actually. You've got to go. Like I'm thinking marathon or triathlon. Maybe triathlon because kind of multifaceted, defense, attack, feeding. Are you
talking about Laura Langman? Because she does.
I'm visualizing her right now because she is a triathlete now, right?
Yeah, she is.
Man.
She runs about, did you say one time on one of these podcasts, 10K or 5K in the netball game? Was it you?
Well, yeah, 10K. Centers can run up to 10K. I did a 10K training one time. That was stupid. Yeah, that was when I had Maria Falau look at me and be like, work smarter, not harder. And I was like, yeah, true.
Nice. Cool, thank you. But I am still smart. Wing attacks? What do wing attacks play?
Well, I put down football because I feel like if you're going to get a Hollywood on the court, it's going to come from the wing attack around the circle edge kind of situation.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Is that rats or is that true?
I don't know. No, yep, correct. Yeah. Okay, football, wing attacks. I just thought in my head at that space of the moment, that space of time, that could be anyone on the field. Maybe we could all play football. Well, some, majority. But that is gold. That is gold. Goal attacks. What sport is out there for goal attacks? For some reason in my head, I thought badminton, but it makes no sense. It just came to me. It just came to me. But goal attacks, what do they do?
Well, they have to be accurate because they're shooting, but they also like I don't know. I have this vision of a lot of goal attacks are really like
they're beautiful.
Yes.
They're like gazelles, like
into not into themselves, into how they are.
I don't.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't.
Maybe they could be like.
I like tennis, like the like
jockey underwear model. I don't know.
I like tennis. Yep. Can we say tennis and the jockey underwear model because that's Daniel Carter. I don't know why.
We can do both. Yeah, hard. Well, they could be the number 10 in rugby.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Rugby. Okay, and then
but specific position because they're not a prop.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Goal shoots. Okay, I've pulled this one out of the fact that Grace Nweke used to be a top class high jumper, so I thought they could be high jumpers.
Yeah.
But then not all goal shoots are athletically designed like Grace's. But that's okay. We'll put them all in a box and generalize them all and say all goal shooters are high jumpers.
High jump. Maybe they can do that heptathlon. Or does that include
heptathlon?
Man, I'm checking out all the facts today. I'm sure it's a heptathlon, and you do a run, a throw, and a jump. Maybe octuple. Oh. Someone's going to come at me for saying that wrong.
Keep going.
I'm sure I had a friend who did this. I obviously clearly do no longer have that friend, so because I don't know. Maybe it was Amy.
You stop paying attention to your friend now they're not your friend.
No, I just don't know language skills for numbers. But I love that. We've got basketball.
Well, hip is 7. Hip is 7. So what we've just done is a hip sport thing. So there you go.
There you go. We got basketball, rugby league, sevens, a marathon or triathlete, a football player, tennis player, or the number 10 in the rugby, and a high jump.
Or jockey,
so if you
jockey model. They can all be jockey undie models. I've never seen a netball jockey model.
No, I have seen netball our undies model, but we won't go there. But yeah. I have seen it.
We'll save that for next time.
We will. But it's been a pleasure to catch up with you, Sammy. And you've just told me all about what's going on for court session and what's going on. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Hard. So yeah, we thank you everyone for tuning in to this latest episode of Court Session, where we talk you through the upcoming and get you pumped for England game and some things you can think about while you're watching. So yes, first one kicks off this Sunday at 4 p.m. in Christchurch. If you can't get your tickets, I'm sure you can watch on the tally. And E and I will be back on Monday to discuss how that game went.
We're going to recap all of that and obviously have some more laughs, maybe some more personal stories, whatever's going on that day, maybe some fun facts. And yeah, we'll see how the Silver Fern versus England goes. Can't wait.
Me.
Can't wait. Court Session?